I'm going to start by including windows.h. This will give me access to all kinds of useful Windows API functions. Afterwards, let's open the main function. And I'm going to start by opening the clipboard with this function, open clipboard. You can see it's pretty simple, only a single argument, which can actually be just null. It's only useful if you want to actually associate it with a certain window. I'm just going to associate with the current task. You can see that also it returns a certain value that tells us if it succeeded or failed. So I'm just going to check if it failed. And if it failed, I'm just going to exit the program. Afterwards, we can continue to the next function, which is called getClipboardData. This will actually retrieve the data from the clipboard. We can see that it gets a single argument, which is the format of the data. We have a lot of different kinds of formats that the clipboard supports. So I'm just going to navigate to this page, standard clipboard formats, read a little about the formats. Again, I'm going to press over here on the first category of standard clipboard formats. Afterwards, we have a very long list of formats. I'm just interested in a basic one. So I'm going to go right over here to CF text. That's going to be just regular text format. Now we can also read a little about the return value, and we can see that it returns a handle. So I'm going to save this into a handle variable. And you can see that if the function fails, the return value is going to be null. So I'm going to check if it's null. And if so, I'm first going to close the clipboard, which is the next function we're going to look at. Just a simple call to close clipboard. And then I'm going to return. I don't see a lot of point of checking the return value of close clipboard, but you can go ahead and check it if you want to. It can fail and then it'll return 0. If the function succeeds, you can see that the return value is a handle to the clipboard object in the specified format. So in this case, we asked for text, so we're going to get text back in data. We're going to get a pointer to some kind of string. So I can just go ahead and print it. Finally, afterwards, I'm going to close the clipboard. And that'll be the end of the program. I'm just going to add another include here for the printf. Now let's go ahead and save this program and compile it. So for this, I'm going to open the Visual Studio command prompt. So after installing Visual Studio Build Tools, you'll have all kinds of tools in your start menu. I'm going to open the one that is called x64 Native Tools command prompt. I'm going to navigate to my folder with the code. I'm going to start by running the Visual Studio compiler, which is CL. And I'm going to pass the C code. And another important parameter to pass is the actual library that contains these functions of the clipboard. So you can find information about the name of the library containing each function in the documentation of Microsoft. If you just go to the end, you have a table of requirements. You can see here all kinds of information, and you can see one of the information that it gives us is the library. So I'm just going to use this library, user32.lib. I'm going to pass it to the compiler. This compiler actually runs the linker as well, so this information actually goes to the linker afterwards. So the linker knows how to resolve the calls to the clipboard functions. We have a small warning here about the fact that printf expects a char pointer and we're actually passing in a handle, but it'll still work fine, so I'm just going to run it. Let's go ahead and copy, for example, Windows 2000 to my clipboard. So I'm just going to copy this. Then I'm going to run the program. And you can see that works nicely. I'm going to finish off this video by showing a cool utility that actually comes built in Windows, and it's called Clip. So let's go ahead and check out Clip. You can see that you can use Clip to actually redirect output, and it'll place it into the clipboard. Let's say, for example, I want to go ahead and place Hello World in the clipboard. I just redirect this to Clip. And now I can use my program that I just wrote. And you can see that contents of the clipboard are now Hello World. One final note about the video. On most of my programming videos, I skip all the error handling and checking the return values of functions. And I just focus on making a small fun example that is not ready for production and it's just for fun. But on this video, I actually decided, since the code is pretty small, to actually show how you can make production-like error handling. This is one example of making a more production-ready C program. Subscribe for more programming videos, and thanks for watching.